one, and then 100 Thieves deciding, actually, we'd rather just ban it and free up the slot, banning it every single game. They're just not letting Ssumday get, or sorry, not letting Impact get his best champion of the year, and it seems like that lead is somewhat nullified when that happens.
And here we get to see, have they changed their idea about Viego? Because the first pick immediately goes in on the Ryze. Guess what? They have not changed their stance on Viego. EG are going to let 100 Thieves have that one again, and they insta-lock the Lucian Diana. This is the AP jungler that you want with your Lucian. Jiizuke has been an extremely potent Lucian player throughout summer. Contractz has had some of the best Diana games that we have seen from any of the junglers in summer split. So EG are throwing the Hail Mary here, backs against the wall, elimination game from this series, and they have to throw it down. There it is. Let's take a look at how this is actually gonna change the rest of the matchup though, because 100 Thieves are flirting with another blind pick for top side. That would be, seems really weird to me. I would think that they would go with
Gangplank.
I would think that they would go with AD carry here or something, but it actually seems like, yeah, they're thinking about just blind picking the entire top side of the map.
Exact same 3 champs, 3 games in a row.
You can flex this Lucian into the Gangplank, into a super good matchup for the Lucian though. So this, there are still some things you can tweak around on the side of Evil Geniuses. If they want to remain a little bit in the Shroud of Darkness here, I like this. You lock in your AD carry instead, don't fully reveal, and you threaten the slight possibility there that you could flex Lucian into the Gangplank top.
Yep. We also saw Tristana versus Ryze just yesterday in Golden Guardian versus Cloud9. I liked how Tristana ended up playing the matchup. It felt like Ablaze Olive had a lot of pressure on Perks. It was still, you know, a loss, but another possibility there.
And you could still pick a Ziggs for the bottom lane for EG. They have double AD carries. They would need a support with some good setup, some CC. Nautilus is still available. Braum also gives you the counter engage at least. So either Nautilus or Braum, depending if you want to go more offensive or more defensive. But they're not going to do the rotation. They're going to keep the Lucian mid. They're going to put Impact back on this Ornn. Tank for top side. Gangplank's just going to farm free money up there, though.
And he's going to be able to, you know, hold up in the lane, but the bullying is not going to be any more than you expect in the battle against Ornn. I feel like at least he can withstand the Q poke and just trade waves and note later on. I mean, it's a decent neutralize, I suppose.
And that's why I think Gangplank just farms money more instead, using a lot of Qs for bonus gold.
I see.
We'll see if he transitions his resources over that way and you know, doesn't want to waste too much time trying to harass down Impact, who is notoriously good at sustaining through a lot of those types of matchups. So there are other ways you can just farm extra out of Gangplank. There's the Nautilus, though, with Kaisa, who even after the nerfs, nerfs mostly hit, I feel like her like early wave push with the Q nerfs. You still get the killer instinct combos with Nautilus, feel great later on. And with Ryze, Realm Warp, how well Abbeddage has been getting around the map, you know, even rune prisoning onto people can have priority here for FBI to follow up. I kind of like this. You get that threat with still having confidence in your duo lane of FBI and Huhi to handle it no matter the matchup.
So Danny's undefeated Tristana is back. It won in Game 2. They're trying again here in Game 4 with the Braum for support. Double Marksman, Diana in the jungle as the primary magic damage threat. Ornn doesn't deal enough for you to have to build against him. And we'll see what it looks like now. Huhi and Closer, to me, have been the biggest difference makers. Obviously, Closer has cleaned up fights excellently. We've seen those multi-kills, but Huhi's roams have almost always set them up.
And I think Huhi is positioned in this game to really affect this mid lane.
Gun! Does 100 Thieves punch their ticket to the Worlds right now in this game and kick Evil Geniuses to the lower bracket? Or are we going to Game 5? Jiizuke's Lucian is here as priority in the mid lane. In Game 3, you know, in Game 2, he's like, hey, I've won 2 lanes in a row. When's it gonna happen? Looking to bring this one back in Game 4.
Yep. The LeBlanc one, not so much in their favor. A lot of pickoffs there for Abbeddage and 100 Thieves. Back on the Ryze over and over and over again for him. Contractz does show in mid lane as he transitions over for the possible late invade, and they're just going to brute force it. When you have Braum,
Yeah.
This is such a powerful state for you. Q plus passive means you start out with a lot of priority for forcing those types of invades. So they get their ward in the back of red. Meanwhile, I believe that was Closer himself that used his ward on Raptor Pit.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to see the transition as well. Moving right out of the Raptor brush there for a split second. It's not going to be a super big surprise. You know, Diana's definitely going to focus on the full clear towards bottom side. I'm curious to see, after those nerfs to Kaisa, if the early state of this lane does result in 100 Thieves being able to allow Closer to double crab by clearing up towards top side, then swinging back for bottom crab protected by their bottom lane or not. Early push will be afforded to Danny and Ignar, though, as they didn't have to leash at all. No auto attacks being spent on the wave, though. They're just trying to let them focus fire, and they do deny at least the first melee minion to FBI.
All right, a bit of gold lost overall, but 100 Thieves able to be okay. Braum Q's not the most poke. It's not going to be a huge threat, and they'll last it pretty cleanly across the two of them as the top laners are almost doing battle. And we'll see how much Ssumday wants to Q spam against the Ornn. You mentioned the thought that maybe he's going to go for individual gold income. For now, he's poking.
Yeah, looks like at least for the early stages here, these grass procs, there's too much value there. Getting the chunk of health as well as the chunk of damage. Yeah, continual grass procs here, continuing to retain his lane control. So that means top scuttle is definitely secured for Closer. Bottom, though, the push on bottom lane is actually being won by Danny and Ignar, and a first visit towards mid lane does get set up.
They're going to find the flash stun. Jiizuke is going to flash to safety and stay alive. Summoners traded back and forth, but now Ryze will have to burn his TP fairly early to get health back in this lane.
And critically, you know, that's the last corrupting potion charge for Jiizuke. He does have a biscuit in inventory, but this makes you second guess yourself because they have no further vision. So Jiizuke is going to play it safe. He's going to go back to base, refill his corrupting potion, and teleport right back out. Closer has just been on a warpath, gank after gank after gank, and they're setting up the dive onto Impact, who has a biscuit and a potion in inventory.
And they can call TP down. They know Jiizuke cannot join this fight anymore, so stun's going to land. Double auto Q, double auto, red buff ticking. Ssumday gets a free attack here as well. They're going to go for it. Closer to let aggro, though. That's going to make this turret dive a lot worse. Starting several hundred health lower, and then it's just not going to happen.
Red buff Phreak, red buff burn, gets you that tower aggro. Closer was waiting for it to drop off, but then 2 tower shots in the setup means no dive. Red buff will get you every time on those. He got a really good preemptive chunk of damage, but now the pressure has turned the other way towards mid lane because teleport was never used by Abbeddage. As we said, Jiizuke did use his to reset after his corrupting potion was dry, so that's why he can push back out now, and Abbeddage is trying to squeeze out the last couple of minions before his cannon wave arrives, and he can just teleport back using his.
So if you got some errands to run and you want the audio-only cast of LCS, then check out leagueday.live. And you can get an audio-only broadcast specifically to your listening pleasure. Do want to point out other things that happened here in this game? Obviously, there was the flash trade in mid, but Contractz got a full 7 camp clear into reset, complete with a deep ward on the opposing Raptor camp. Closer's just now getting the last edge of his camp, so there should be a pretty big tempo lead for Contractz going into the rest of the laning phase.
Yeah, plus the bottom side Scuttle Crab, so he is very happy for Diana.
Yeah.
After your second clear starts to reset, perfect timing here. You know, you've got your full route plus your bottom scuttle. Now second spawns on camps will get you up to that level 5, and he can start looking to secure these lanes who have played very well for themselves. When you are at this kind of early jungle ganking deficit of Diana, which you always have to deal with when you're looking to scale up, you're relying on your solo laners to outplay in these scenarios. And Jiizuke trading flashes, getting out alive, being able to reset teleports after that worked out just fine. Now that, you know, Contractz can traverse over to his wolves, even makes a half-hearted effort to pass through any sort of extra aggressive moves from 100 Thieves. Meanwhile, it will be a lasting effect on Closer because he's so aggressive in setting up both solo lanes and attempted at the dive in addition to the flash trade towards mid. Is going to be a lot slower getting to his level 6 because it's going to take 2 more clears for him. Meanwhile, Nautilus gank on a flashless Lucian.
Ooh, they're going to find the Ripper. They know he's flashless. They know he has absolutely no way out. This should be a guaranteed kill. Exhaust for the slow for good measure. Q is going to land. First blood. 3v1 mid lane.
And so they do, in the end, get paid for Closer using his flash. That is the real person on 100 Thieves that spent large cooldowns to secure this kill. He's the one who creates the flash discrepancy. That's why you always trade that flash as jungler for mid lane. That means his earlier gank does actually find value, and that experience deficit he's experiencing right now is rewarded. So it requires Huhi coming up, and both flashes from Abbeddage and Huhi, but those are well worth it. They get their first blood bonus. They take down this Lucian. We set it up in Champ Select Phreak. If the Lucian gets hit with the jungle ganks and the support ganks, then it's going to be the 100 Thieves series is the statement that I made. Those two things actually exactly played out.
They did.
The jungle gank, then the support gank. They killed him. They got the flash. It's been written in blood.
Yeah, the blood of Jiizuke. Downed Italian here is, ooh, yeah. EG still answering back, though. Feeling comfortable as Contractz and Jiizuke come in. They get the red buff steal. Still feeling comfortable as the bot lane is also able to push. We can also note the fact that Danny has a small CS lead down there. Maybe can be another carry in this game.
I also just want to compliment 100 Thieves on their execution of it, because when we're talking about all of these tools and the setup and talking about, yeah, jungle gank into support gank difference because of the tools they have with the Viego, with the Nautilus, your opponents know that, and then they can see that as well and are expecting that deficit. So it really still takes a lot of timing to pull that off, and Huhi finds that window. Closer was willing to expend his flash, willing to go behind an experience to set it up. So they've been rewarded thus far. Let's see what they can do with it. On the top side, the other half of our story set up. Guess what? It's going Ssumday's way once again, as we expected, farming very effectively on the Gangplank there. He does use some Qs now, transitioning a bit more into bonus gold. Kind of like this. It's also because the wave is pushing out and he doesn't have control of the river. And they see Contractz on this Rift Herald. But with Diana now hitting that level 6, having a lot more threat, and getting the roam here from Ignar, gives them the confidence to set it up.
Very early on, too. 8:15. Rift Herald already about to drop.
Right.
And that will be claimed by Contractz. Contractz not going to find Jiizuke. He's able to jump away. And Evil Genius is off to the first epic monster of the game. FTX gold advantage only 600, and you'll work back about half that on average with the Herald summon. Has no length of enough pressure to knock down the entire turret. Maybe bot lane will become an eventual focus, but right now that's not going to be nearly low enough for more than 2 plays.
And I actually really like these mid-game recalls from Diana, because this is a power spike in itself. Even though nobody has mythics on the map, when you get all of your AP components plus your Dark Seal, Contractz has, with his first ultimate, has flash available on top of it. The dream scenarios are there for your ultimates into flash to reposition and just demolish a skirmish. There's so much burst potential. But they catch Braum.
In on Ignar. He still has flash, but the shield up. He's going to be fine. Team is going to Here comes a fight. And Diana leads it in, and Diana shuts down Abbeddage. How about the rest of this battle, though? 4 versus 3. Going to find the knockup onto Viego, and Closer forced to actually stay around. The health bar is getting low on Evil Genius. His 1-for-0 all. It's going to happen in the exhaust. Is it enough? He whiffs the flash. A clutch exhaust from Ignar saves his teammates' lives.
Oh, Phreak, that is a pie in the face. Again, Closer wants to highlight Viego play, but exhaust shuts him down. That's the story of so many melee carries. Fully committing only to see that sad, sad animation pop up above your head. Plus, going in on impact there. Tanky enough member. At least they get rewarded for some turret play, so Ssumday says, hey, thanks for delaying us back, buddy.
Yeah. 4 plates in top lane, one of which was earned beforehand, but I believe the next 3 is just off of that.
And this is what I'm talking about the burst from Diana. He just recalled to get his blasting wand and the Hexset alternator, so he gets exhaust, but only during the second half. So it was only his second E and the auto that were exhausted at the end had gotten off his ultimate, so enough burst damage to finish him off there. Then Closer wants to come in for the execution, but this exhaust is on before the ultimate hits, so before that damage is dealt, and that's what saves him.
And it would have been a kill. I think if not for exhaust, I think that was lethal damage. And then you heal, you get the Ornn kit, you get a knockup. If you have to flash out, you can. But yeah, it looks really good. You'd probably just ult out, right? And then you're completely safe. So I don't hate the play, but the exhaust was there and it looked pretty good. The wave mostly cleared. Danny takes a single turret shot for his trouble. Feels worth it overall. And we have a tied game now. Evil Geniuses and other Thieves yet to score Dragon to their names. And get ready, because this Rift Herald is still alive for a minute and a half. And Contractz will try to find somewhere to summon it. I feel like bot lane is the most reliable advantage. That turret's already down to just above 3,000 health, and feels like that can actually turn into the turret itself.
Especially since they already have the roam from Ignar here, clearing out the wards. That thing is, as you say, one-shottable. Shelly can take care of it.
But they want to maybe fork the decision-making around the Dragon as well. Smites it away.
It's got no...
Yeah, you have the rest of your Herald timer, which is, by the way, now under a minute to get the summon across. He may choose to... Okay, well, actually, he sees the Blast Plant jumps. He's like, I'm not turning for Herald.
The gang is here!
But yeah, again, bot lane is absolutely definitively easy.
Oh, 3v3 over Crab!
It's a fight for the Crab. Ulti coming across from Nautilus, finds all 3 stuns. Danny dropped a bit low, but he's going to be okay. Diana gets the ulti, but no damage. Contractz jumped upon, and FBI finds the kill. Contractz may well be dead during the Herald timeout.
Realm Warp difference, Phreak. Abbeddage arrives once again. Guess what? Lucian can't get into the fight. 3v3 on Crab turns into a 4v3, and one of them is a big old mid laner. So that is going to be 100 Thieves. Huge victory in the bottom river. What does Jiizuke have to say about it? Well, he pushed one wave in as punishment, then gets a little bit of ult damage, but it's going to be such a big play there from Abbeddage. That Realm Warp in ensures that they finish off that kill. Contractz not able to get anything out of that Diana ultimate either, as everybody had kind of separated, got out of the way, and that was a big force from 100 Thieves in a critical moment.
It was a really big deal, because the opposite of that play is not only do you probably lose Scuttle, but you actually get the Herald charge. It is guaranteed to grab first turret down in bot lane, which is around like an 800, 900 gold swing. You're huge at that point. But, you know, EG turned around, took the fight, didn't win it, and all that money is just left on the table.
Ryze priority does seem to be paying off for the 100 Thieves and Abbeddage. Looks like they're getting a last laugh. Meanwhile, Danny, though, you know, no Rift Herald, no problem, Phreak.
Apparently not.
Tristana will do it herself. That's that Danny meme. Fine, I'll do it myself.
And indeed, well, this is, I think, the turret dead to the explosive charge. Indeed, that is. So, hey, turret plates taken almost exclusively to Danny. That man is rich, 5,800 gold. I believe might be the most in the game.
Now, there's no time for Contractz to... oh, wait, where was the Rift Herald used then? Mid?
No, he died. He died with it. That's what I talked about the whole time.
It expired that time?
It expired during his death timer. That's why there was no payoff. That's why that kill, like said, was like worth 900 gold. Because there's no charge.
I thought you were just saying it because the rewards, if they had won the fight, would give the opening to take the full thing.
Nah, it was, they fully lost the Herald.
Yeah.
I'm so stressed watching a Herald under 1 minute. I'm if you screw up once, there's nothing.
It is the worst feeling. It is the worst feeling. Let's see if Jiizuke gets a similar one, though. He's got his flash. They're looking to blow it.
Nope. Goes the other way around. Says that ward's been turned off. It's controlled on that brush. I'm afraid of it. Huhi. Not going to be in danger. A new objective to play for a little bit. New Herald is alive. Might be worth a little something. Might be, be able to knock down mid-tier 2, or mid-tier 1, which is not bad. And yeah, EG, they own the top river, so it's going to be theirs to claim. We are yet again going to be on a pretty slow Dragon game. It feels more and more the top teams are much more interested in turret pressure than Dragon pressure, as you often get the first one killed pretty late in. And as the top lane wave is mostly cleared out by Ssumday, they will not lose top lane outer.
Yeah, that's definitely no surprise. I think for a long time, been talking about how much of a bigger advantage the early gold is than these smaller early dragons. Danny, though, as we said, he'll do it himself. Giant gold advantage earned by hand on his now signature Tristana. He's looking for the top turret, should be able to get it while Ignar buys him some time.
All right, so down goes top lane outer. Once again, using Tristana to just knock down structures. FTX total gold. Oh yeah, 1,300 ahead of anyone else in the game, which is the teammate. Feels good. You two are doing awesome, and they can keep it going. This time, we will get the first Rift Herald summon of the game. And it will indeed guarantee mid lane outer turret falls. We will see if they're able to get any damage into tier 2, but it seems unlikely. They will be able to hit the eye, and down it goes.
So much power in all of these outer turrets going down for EG. Yes, it balloons your gold lead, but it also funds these mythics. Look at the power spikes coming in from them, as should be pretty easy for them to keep up deeper vision too. When you have no longer any outer turret defense here, 400 Thieves. Meanwhile, Evil Geniuses keeping up all of their outer towers. Yes, top lane is barely there, but and should be traded, pretty quickly if 100 Thieves decide to send any more resources. They haven't been able to topple it. So this gives you that big mid-game difference where you get much earlier completions. The Eclipse now even coming in for Jiizuke, who has kind of been pummeled thus far in the series with a lot of focus trying to burn his flash over and over. Meanwhile, Impact just farming up, no problem for him. Did get an early completion. I wonder who he put it on. We'll see if we can tab through and see who actually gets the reduced damage. I think scary one right now is actually probably the Ryze. Maybe you want it on Kaisa for team fights, though.
Yeah, we'll see. You can see a negative icon as you scroll across any individual champion, so you need to look for that in the bottom left corner as we eventually find other people to look at. But for now, it is Evil Geniuses with the gold lead. Turret destruction have given them a solid foothold into the mid game. FTX gold advantage, 2.5 thousand. Answered by a single dragon. I take the gold lead, of course.
Yeah, and that's basically all in turrets. So while it is a substantial advantage right now with these item power spikes and dragon coming up, there is a lot of standing gold on the map for 100 Thieves to take if they can make a big play. You've got Realm Warp available. Ssumday has the ultimate available for Gangplank, so they're going to push hard on top side and try to trade this dragon for some of that standing gold. Top tower will definitely go down to them. As for, actually the rotation early up from Tristana here. Danny's so rich that if Ignar can get in there, they might actually be able to defend this. Ooh, it's close though on the route. Viego's cutting on the inside too. They will get paid.
Has to hide away. So one turret finally on the scoreboard. 100 Thieves able to get the lion's share of that money onto FBI and the Kaisa. Going for a tank busting build with a Phantom Dancer second. Really focusing on actually burning through the Diana, the Braum, the Ornn, and making sure those die. I'm glad he's not going Collector because he's hitting tanks in this team composition. They're not really dumping much backline. So it makes a whole lot of sense there. And we'll see now what comes next. Of course, the Dragons were shared back and forth. The gold lead shrunk somewhat because of the cross-map play. And we just get a mid-game lull. I know last time I said we're not likely to see an early Baron. That's 2 for nothing, and a 22-minute Baron kill. So once again, I think there's probably not going to be an early Baron.
I mean, last time you said that too, though, the map was wide open with both teams having all of their outer turrets down, so there's a lot more room to work with for some of those picks. This time around, it's a lot more control, I'd say, for Evil Geniuses. And it looks like they're going to try and utilize that to get some red quadrant vision for themselves, as Contractz goes for the half-hearted attempt at cutting off Ssumday.
We are eclipsing a Ramana for Lucian, the expected caster build. And this does make him not quite the late-game scaler in the sense that, you're not doing the incredible multiplicative scaling of auto-attack crits and attack speed, but he is going to be a large threat for a long time.
And it makes your ult incredibly scary, too. So wonder if he can get any good early chunks out on some of these squishier members. There's not a true tank on 100 Thieves. Huhi is the most tank, and he has support, so underfunded.
And it still feels like wherever Danny goes, so goes the team. If there's ever a fight to be had, they need Tristana with it because he is still the richest member on Summoner's Rift.
Surprise!
He is the gold lead. Contractz going to be able to jump in, forcing the ult away from Closer as they trade those cooldowns. So many R's, even Gangplank is happy. And now we get to see mid lane push in.
Actually, that was pretty big. They actually called Ssumday over from the bottom lane push. Ssumday's in mid lane now instead of pushing on bottom side because they don't want to have to use his teleport, and they're so worried about it.
Is Contractz a viable option? Still has flash, burns it right away. Gonna still be ulted. Ornn coming across, knock up onto 2, and that means big damage on Abbeddage. Gets away, but a rocket jump is in for the chase. Buster shot puts him at 50, and Impact has the flash follow. Huge by Danny, but on the other side of the map, they're going right back in. FBI ults in off the teammate, and that's 2 kills. Closer gets the resets. Huge knockouts by Huhi and huge target awareness by FBI. That anchor toss was perfect, though your mid laner is down. He is not needed. It is a 3-for-0, and hey, Kobe, there's a Baron to take.
Nice caster curse there, Phreak. Danny, what can he do about it? Danny and Impact, the only 2 left. Teleport comes through, but Baron is dropping so quickly, 5K and counting.
No ults for either one, but they've got a front line. They've got a decent chance of dealing some damage. Closer dropped a bit low, but does have his smite. He could die. Gets his smite in time. Will not quite drop to Trist. The red buff burn makes it happen. But I'm sorry, you are going to die, Impact. 1 Baron buff taken off the table. 100 Thieves, though, still holding on to 4.
Such a huge play by 100 Thieves to actually turn in the river after they had just gotten the pick up there from Danny's hop play. So let's take another look at it. Roccat flipped the switch replay here. The pick starts onto Contractz. Good Zhonya's into flash from him, though. Actually gets a good disengage. Then, with Ornn actually used, and Ignar even using the Unbreakable doesn't bother blocking it because they're so far away. I thought this pick was going to be even bigger. Danny almost 100% Abbeddage. Does require Impact's flash in, but when they see Impact do that, they just swap over to the other half of the fight. Huhi on the Nautilus sets up FBI. Killer instinct, reposition is everything. Closer are allowed to reset, and they just continue to pick up the extra souls here, so forcing the extra 4-person inside Baron. 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
Looking now, they've got match point to send themselves to Worlds.
Looking pretty good, but the advantage not so huge. Comebackable, as the kids say. Second Dragon, not going to be a huge deal. You can give this one on EG's side if you're afraid of extra stats on the Baron buff. But hey, if you got someone to pick off, Ryze and bot lane with no TP, there's a chance here in this one. A pretty good culling. Of course, Huhi to walk up and put in the locket shield. And now that means some lane pressure. Ryze still in the bottom lane, of course, can join with Realm Warp. But you can see how far back 100 Thieves are. Gangplank clearing the way from front of the turret. FBI nearly in the same spot. But now they have congealed yet again. How's this fight gonna look? Danny level 13, 1 level up on FBI, and has both summoners on the Tristana. First Dragon reset comes in as they had juggled aggro back and forth, and it walks back into the pit. Knockups come across, Impact pretty low, put down a half HP, Ignar almost gone, but not dead just yet. Ssumday barrel only hits Danny. First knockup comes across, it's Huhi in the front line, and Huhi just deletes himself for the engage, and oh, it's not enough damage out of the jungler. Already Diana is down, and Closer is hungry for more. Looking for Impact to drop, may just have it happen. Jiizuke gonna be stunned, and he's just not gonna kill Braum. He's used to be cold, the culling does nothing, and they're gonna find the rest going forward. A shutdown comes through for FBI as well. That's the kind of fight you wanna see. The Budlight Ace comes through for 100 Thieves.
And the 100 Thieves are gonna take what's not given to them since 2018, Phreak. They're looking to take this series. They're looking to take a top 3 spot in the LCS, and they're looking to take a trip to Worlds. The Baron buff will allow them inside the base. Inhibitor towers are down. Over a 6,000 gold advantage after that. What a monumental lead.
6,400 in the Red Bull Baron power play. The Dragon, just the icing on the cake afterwards. They took the maximum with the buff. Evil Geniuses opted in to fight against a Baron buff, and it could not have gotten worse.
Just a landslide victory in that last fight. Amazing stuff right there with the burst damage onto Contractz. He went in on Diana, got a 3-person ultimate, but Kaisa, Killer Instinct from FBI, Focus Fire from Abbeddage and Closer instantly deleted him. And this Viego is nasty, okay? With the burst from Ryze plus Viego killing Diana, then stealing the body, he instantly goes to threaten the other 2 carries on EG. Just watch this setup once again, because it is going to be a disengage during Gangplank ultimate. Ignar uses his Unbreakable very well to dodge a lot of this damage, but then during Ornn ultimate here, they actually burst down Huhi as he hooks in, and Contractz immediately gets bursted. Viego steals his body, ults in, or then E's in over to the backline, finishes off Braum, and takes Braum's body to then go Solo Jiizuke by himself uses the Q plus passive stun to finish him off and set up for his own ulti. Danny then dies at the last auto from FBI, and it is a clean sweep for 100 Thieves.
And we're going to get a little bit more now as the push continues. Well, a couple of jungle camps get taken. That's something on the docket, but it is looking very 100 Thieves favored. Giving a bit of respect, knowing that there's always a threat of the dive, and it doesn't fight for their own jungle just yet.
Because now we're at that point once again. So 3 item power spike. Ryze has Zhonya's and Flash and Teleport available. Abbeddage can split push forever. Nobody can deal with them unless you bring multiple members, and then you give up other areas of the map. So all that's important for 100 Thieves now is during the split push to get something off mid. They're going to have to bring Danny and...
Yeah, that's just a lot of damage. A great stopwatch immunes the ulti in from Danny, but gets the rocket jump slow, times it well, gets the auto attack afterwards, and that's now 2 kills in for the rookie AD carry.
I'm trying to say they can't kill him without giving up something, but 100 Thieves didn't have the pressure on mid, so they can kill him without giving up something. Phreak,
great.
Just send 4 members, and mid lane doesn't have to deal with it, so still have their inhibitor down. Timing window synced up a little bit better, maybe, for 100 Thieves. Then they would have been able to get the most out of that opportunity. But because of the desync here, it does allow EG a rebuttal.
It is still a large hill to climb. Cloud9 awaiting the loser of this series for elimination. And neither EG nor C9 would like that, but that's the path they're headed toward right now. As the next Dragon's up at 2.5, that's not the important part. It's Baron spawning. And all of EG and Fog means Huhi has to check, gets caught up, puts the ulti across, and will not die. Gets the flash away. Danny forced out as well. Tristana finally gets the kill. That's a reset. 5v4, is it winnable? Oh, it's not when Contractz gets deleted just like that, and they're going to go for a bit more. The flash in, Closer can taste blood. He wants it, and he is going to ruin every single kingdom that EG have ever seen. As another one goes down. 1 death, but 3 kills, and Baron is right in front of the noses, but so is the EG base.
Just a small hiccup there, Phreak, for 100 Thieves with the pickoff earlier. What a team fight. They find the collapse this time around. That's going to be Baron number 2 for the 100 Thieves. And this one, they'll get to march all the way inside the base. How crazy is it watching a lot of these fights where, you know, someone like Diana is dead first, and so Closer gets to seal the Diana body to then use E plus Flash plus R reset to gain basically a screen's worth of distance onto another carry. Let's take another look at it, because while Huhi does die, he's just trying to set up the team fight. So he's able to get out, still dies to the explosive shot bomb on his head, but they've got a big lead in health on the front line, and the burst damage there, my goodness, allows... Look at that, Closer goes a full screen with E plus Flash plus R, allows him to reset, kills off the other hopping AD carry. Another death inside the base. Abbeddage and Ssumday chasing down the rest of the members of EG, making them scatter to the winds. And all they can huddle behind now are a couple of towers on bottom side, mid lane wide open. And they've got 2 minutes of Baron buff to work with.
All right, the Ornn mythics are coming in. So we have the Eclipse upgraded, Jiizuke, I believe, for Jiizuke.
Danny goes.
Hold on, okay, big fight. Ssumday dropped dangerously low, but not gonna die to the culling as he is out of the radius, and now it's the runaway for EG. Ignar's already popped the locket, Closer wants in, but might not find the kill, so won't do so. Abbeddage has already walked in with the Realm Warp, and it's time to run away yet again for EG. Impact will find himself stunned up, immunes the knock, but the stun, of course, still goes through. That's how that one works, as Closer gets away with the explosive charge. Mid inhibitor is down.
This is why Ssumday goes for the tankiest of those Gangplank builds. He's got Hysterics on top of his Divine Sunder, on top of Steel Caps, extra negative control on Cloak for more defense here. He does not die to the all-in. Eat some oranges, use your ultimate, kites out, allows for the rest of the team to come rescue. They take the mid inhibitor, they take the Dragon.
And that is Dragon number 3. Multiplies the bits of armor and MR that have been bought on 100 Thieves' side, but they are on their way to 5 minutes and counting for a Mountain Soul. It might nearly seal the deal. It'll bump the lead about 50% from what they already have. The Baron buff still on, has not turned into a ton. They are, of course, bleeding the mid waves for golden XP, so that's why you're seeing it kind of dip below that 1500 mark that you get from Baron itself. but just waiting for the last fight that ends the game. EG finally on Infinity Edge for Danny. His Kraken Slayer has already been upgraded, so the chance at the late game team fighting is possible, but of course an outside chance.
I do think Danny has been playing it well with Tristana. There have been several openings for him as he solos out low health members on the side. You know, the burst onto Abbeddage before, almost getting the 100% with his ultimate and last auto. So there are possibilities. It's a good thing to bring up his still undefeated Tristana. He's fighting with his life, with his team to try and keep their hopes alive, but Realm Warp inside, and that tower is down.
Who needs to play wave control when you can bring the wave yourself? And it's going to be pushing in a bot side. Inhibitor not down just yet. Stun's going to come across onto only 2. Huhi deleted, and now we watch the rest of the fight. Huge damage to the Ignar. He will drop as well, 1 for 1, but they've knocked out Danny, and Danny's in for another. But now he is down. Ssumday left alone after the Tristana triple kill. He and his jungler may not have the damage they need. A 2v3 is not going to happen. Danny picks up a triple. He may have died, but it was a game-saving fight.
They live to fight another day, Phreak. Gonna be a reset for the 100 Thieves. Impact the bodyguard will keep them off Jiizuke and keep them off that inhibitor.
And now we just clean up waves. Not a lot to do for the next 2 minutes except reset and again receive some farm in the mid lane. If you can just chain farm mid and the other team can't touch it, it's 1,500 gold across those 8 waves. That shores up some small part of the deficit.
Danny is doing so much work for this team on this Tristana. Hops in again. This time around, I believe it was Ssumday who was able to cut him down. But here's another look at it. Realm Warp to the tower, and then Gangplank ultimate Jiizuke off of it so that they are able to finish it down. But with those 2 ultimates, Impact then sees the angle. He gets his ult off on most of the members, and they're able to just burn down Huhi here. Look at the top screen. Danny's firing away. He jumps in to sacrifice himself in order to take down Ryze, take down Abbeddage, and that is a worthwhile sacrifice for him. No more chance for 100 Thieves to push inside, take down an inhibitor. Timer is gone. They live through another Baron, but 2 minutes left on that soul.
Stopwatch now in for Danny. Is going towards his final item, as again, Infinity Edge was completed pre-combat, and that was a big part of the damage, but now he's just waiting to earn the next 2K to actually get his final upgrade. Baron number 3 is up in just a minute. 45 seconds later, we will have the chance at Mountain Soul. A split map play would be fine in most cases for 100 Thieves. I think they'd be okay with either side of the objectives.
Yeah, I think 100 Thieves need to split the map right now. Not play off of huge front line, Braum and Ornn in front of level 16 Tristana now. Danny is hyper scaling. As you mentioned, the stopwatch in his inventory. Next time around, he goes for that big rocket jump play, can actually stopwatch by time to find his reset. That's the dream scenario for Evil Geniuses. Jiizuke trying to answer that setup from 100 Thieves, though. The setup from Abbeddage in the bottom side.
TPing to mid, they want to go. Looks like they're trying to run him in and find this catch. But Huhi not going to find the ulti just yet. Impact having to tank the shot. Go ahead. Jump enemy FBI. I dare you. He's got 5,000 health. It's not going to be easy. Going to find that first stun. Decent damage. Keep in mind, a lot of % health damage on Viego with the Divine Sunderer. So drops about 1/3 off of Impact.
Yeah, Closer will take that dare. He'll mess around. He's very willing to go for it. He's circling around on Evil Geniuses as they have Jiizuke coming teleport channeled as well for Impact. Frontline is here.
Not going to find the barrel, though. Impact is full health. Of course, has the ulti, has an Abyssal Mask for the 15% damage amp. Anyone on his team if he finds the stun.
Hook right onto the Ornn little tiny tower there.
Okay, here's the knockup, but only on a Huhi. Is that a good enough fight? Oh, he's almost deleted. Nearly down, pops the shield. GP ult buys a lot of space, and that means EG gonna walk back. Rocket jump buys a bit of space, but still has to burn the stopwatch. Good barrel damage. The front line might die. It's EG forced to run. No, a damage done to Abbeddage. Nearly kills him off. Contractz gonna be low. Gonna be dropped 1 for nothing. Push back now. No one's left alive. They've got to run. They've got to run. No, Danny steps up, and Danny shuts down 1. Mid laner is dead, though, and it's gonna be another kill in. Danny is doing it all. Danny shuts down FBI. The Rookie of the Year puts his team on his back, but he's 1 versus 2. Ssumday and Abbeddage can only watch him knock down the wave as they can't push the base without minions, and Danny single-handedly keeps EG in the upper bracket.
It's Danny versus the world. It's Danny versus the 100 Thieves, and Danny's
gonna get 1. Danny could get 2. Holy God, he's
Tristana, the undefeated Tristana. He wants to keep it that way, Phreak.
I think that is an unofficial pentakill, by the way. I think he got a triple in the main fight. I'm not sure, but he stops Mountain Soul, and he is the best player in this game.
Okay, let's get into the replay, baby. Huhi, hook after hook after hook, and yet Impact is going to punish him for it. They burn him down to 10%. Then you get the re-engage off of the Gangplank ultimate. Picture in picture, though. Let's look at this. Baron is started up. It's at 50% HP. You see Closer on your screen getting close, but it looks like Evil Geniuses are going to get that Baron. They have him outside the pit. They got it.
They did indeed. And now we get to watch the rest of this fight as it was a clean sweep, right? This was 3-0. And then, wow.
Danny versus the world. He's got enemies on all sides, Phreak, so he just jumps at them. He's going to fight his way out. You can't sit there and wait for them to close in on you. Literally, the only way to live here, the only way to save the game is to fight your way out. He chooses one side. He jumps on the lower health members in front of him, gets his double kill, gets the minion wave, and then, as Abbeddage steps up here, Ssumday's the only one to face check the brush, giving him alone time. Danny pops his Q, multi-shot right into his face, and let's go!
Honda Performance play, an unofficial pentakill to keep your team alive in your first playoffs as a player. Danny's 11-3.
And now he's got a Guardian Angel to complete it, Phreak. The dream has come true. He sold his boots as well.
For RFC.
Full item Tristana here. If you come at the king, you best not miss. And guess what? There's a new king in town. It's Danny.
Danny has immaculate aim. We'll see what else he can do because this game has closed up pretty tightly. Huhi just gets deleted from the culling, and this could be a game-winning push. Baron buff is on. They want the middle inhibitor. Contractz gets Abbeddage, and everyone else is just gonna fall. Bow to the new king of the LCS. It is Danny leading the charge. Evil Geniuses. We're in a 3 versus 5, and Danny took them all by himself. They're gonna get the rest of the turrets. They're gonna get the rest of the kills. Down goes the rest. We're hearing the players scream. We couldn't be more excited for the next Bud Light Ace, for the game to end, and bring on the Silver Scrapes. Danny is your new god.
Danny is the best rookie we've ever had in the history of the LCS, Phreak. What a year for this kid.
The words to describe this man's game cannot be said. They don't exist across all languages on the planet.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to hear it, Kobe.
Okay.
That was some of the best play I have literally ever seen in League of Legends.
I agree, but there are words to describe it.
Pick all your hyperbole. There's still more to add at the end. You got to invent more words.
Go, Danny.
Go on longer. Incredible. We'll sit down.
Play the Silver Scrapes, baby.
Yeah.
One more game in this series, baby. Stand between us and our world's representative. Who will be the first team there?
We're going to find out when we join the State Farm Analyst Desk after the commercial break. See you soon.